We condemn Hitler for killing his own people in Germany. You know, what is it, 11 million or give or take? You know, the Columbus killed just 3 million Taínos just in what we know, Grenada in the Indies, let alone the other 100 million that were killed in central Mexico and the pioneers. You know, the definition I use for the pioneer movement is the thieves, the land thieves, because in order to take the land they had to kill people. And so our people are going into the schools and doing the research, and we're finding out the truth that they themselves recorded. For example, you know, Columbus lied when he went back to justify the kidnapping of Indians and selling them as pets to Frenchmen and Spain and the Spanish people of wealth. You know, they could sell our people as a pet.
You know, earlier you mentioned that Christopher Columbus took some samples of Native Americans so the Europeans can see them, but you were saying exactly that. It was to bring in slaves.
Yeah, because he didn't find any gold, so he saw economics within 2 days. He landed October 12th. By October 14th, the man had made a decision that he was going to take slaves back and sell them, and it was for economic gain, and so that people could have a human being as a pet. And the way he justified that was that he deliberately lied that our people were cannibal. There is no place in history that our people were cannibals in North America, or what I call Mekoyesotli, which is from north to south. There is record, though, on the other hand, and there's biological record just by the way the teeth are made in Europeans, and a lot of their stories that come out of the area of Austria, where cannibalism was practiced there. It's recorded. They have the names of who did it, when they did it, and why they did it. Cannibalism. And in modern times, European man has committed acts of cannibalism, and they justify it.
Let me ask you real quick, because our time is running out. Well, one thing, I know that the Catholic Church and the missionaries and the Franciscan missions were doing the recording. Where are you finding these facts that somebody would have written all the true facts?
Well, we need to understand that the kind of people that Spain sent were literate people. They were not very nice people, because what they did and what they wrote, they could put a lie on paper and program people to believe that lie. It becomes a fact. And in time, a fact becomes the truth. You know, like just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, just to show you the psychology of man today, I read the first page of a new Bible, and it says, God created the monsters of the sea. I mean, think of the psychology there, of the mental condition of a person who is supposed to be a Christian. An Indian would never make a statement like that. An Indian would say, grandfather created the water people, not the monsters of the sea. And the records that they kept, what I'm trying to say to you is that they would write things to suit themselves. Right. As we go into these records, like say for example, when Indians have gone into the mission archives and we have found documents where an Indian was baptized today, the next day the Indian was buried. You know, what does that tell you when you find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Indians that are baptized one day and buried the next? And this seems to be a trail, I call it the trail of death, that the Jesuit priests left when they built their missions from Mexico to South America all the way up north to California.
So one of the best things for those that are interested is to start looking and start researching, and they'll start finding a past that has a good history.
It has a history, and I hope that they don't cry, because it's painful. You know, it's painful to read what European man did to our people, and even though it's been a genocide, you know, for example, they genocide the identity of our people. Most of our people who were here today, this afternoon, can't even tell what tribes they come. They all are in what I call a psychological denial. They say, oh no, I'm French, I'm Spanish, or You know, even when I run into people that have Indian names that came from Spain, I crack up because they don't realize how those Indian names got over there. Most of them don't know that their ancestors were sold as slaves over there, and now those names are coming back. But nobody wants to admit he's an Indian. You know, very few people, because to be an Indian is a hard life.
Yeah, but there's a difference between those who want to learn about them being Indians and those that are going to be wannabes.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for the information. I hope that people, I know we don't have enough time to really go into a lot of it, but I hope that the people will start researching and reading about their past. Thank you.
Thank you.